I potentially just watched the most fucked up thing I've ever watched in the entire world. Like, in a good way. Like, in a good way. Right?
Rubbing balls in my face.
But, bruh. So, I'm just sitting over here baffled that this fucking documentary even exists. Not that it exists, but like the people in this documentary exist. Like, that's the crazy part to me. Like, what? And Carole is about to get dragged. I think that Carole killed her husband. I also think she's a scammer and a fraud, and I'm going to show you some receipts that you didn't see in the documentary. And also, I think that Jeff and Alan and James set Joe Exotic up. So Tiger King is about this guy, Joe Exotic. This man has a private zoo of tigers, big tigers, baby tigers, medium tigers, white tigers, orange tigers, lions and bears and wolves and alligators. He's a hillbilly, like for sure, the hillbilliest of the hillbillies. Not the brightest crayon in the box. In his gift shop at his roadside zoo, he has Tiger King draws, mixtapes of his country ballad diss tracks, and t-shirts and all kinds of other shit you can buy. And he ran for governor, and he wanted to run for president of the United States of America, and he has not one but two husbands. I cannot make this shit up. I can't make it up. No one can make it up. Netflix is coming for throats with this documentary. They're not playing with HBO. They're not playing with Stars. They're not playing with Showtime. They're not playing. Netflix came into 2020 like Kamani Marley from Shada's. If you didn't watch Tiger King, watch it now. Watch it now. Shout out to Staff. She had her arm bitten off by a tiger. It was damaged by a tiger and amputated, and she came back to work in 7 days. Saf is the real MVP. They don't make employees like that. Nobody got employees like that. Nobody. I'm going to tell you right now, it is my opinion that Jeff and Alan, with the help of James, did indeed frame Joe. They set him up. And also that Carole Baskins is a scammer. So I'm about to show y'all exactly what I think happened and why this show is so captivating. So we got Joe Exotic, crazy as hell. We got Doc, the Lord, with a harem of women and multiple wives and like this whole cult thing going on his like bunny ranch. A drug kingpin guy, and the drug kingpin guy, Mario, is like the normalest person in this damn documentary, and that says a lot. And then we have the most savage person in the documentary, animal activist Carole Baskins. I'm convinced that she killed her husband, and I'm going to tell you why. This lady is crazy as shit. She is a lunatic, a fraud. The first clue that something is seriously wrong with this lady is she had imaginary friends as a kid that were cats. 2 imaginary cat friends. And then her closet. It's like she doesn't even own any clothes that aren't leopard print. That's weird. That's weird. She's obsessed with cats, and she's obsessed with Joe just a little bit. I think she's obsessed with Joe, guys. I don't see any difference in what she does compared to what Joe Exotic and Doc and the rest of the Hillbilly Tiger Club was doing. I mean, she disguises her shit as animal activism, which to me is bullshit. Let me first say, you shouldn't own tigers as pets. Exotic animals, they're not pets. Animals don't want to be locked up in cages. They don't want to be a part of your circus. They don't want to be a part of your tours. You don't need a picture of you petting a baby tiger. You don't need a zoo. You don't need a zoo. Why do I have to tell people that they don't need a zoo? So we know Joe and the rest of the shady bunch are shady as hell. They don't try to hide being shady. They do shady shit on camera. But let me tell you why Carole Baskins is just as fucking shady. Get your popcorn. In the past, Carole Baskins had her own roadside zoo. She indeed did everything to animals that she accuses every other roadside zoo of doing. She had a bed and breakfast petting zoo. She breeded animals. Her cats were used in magazines. She exploited big cats too. And she did it for years. So spare me, Carole. Spare me with your revelation. You found a way to exploit cats, make money off of them, and call yourself a nonprofit at the same time. And let's talk about the financials real quick about this, because you might not know this. Their website is selling these big paintings that cats magically paint by themselves with their paws when some paint's left in their cage. And they're selling these paintings from anywhere from $50 to $100. They also have like these paintings put on leggings and hoodies and t-shirts and cell phones, all kinds of shit, mugs, all kinds of stuff. And of course they sell tour tickets. There's actually a website that has been dragging Carole way before this documentary even came out. That website is called BCR Watch, and I'll link it below. In 2018, per the IRS, Carole brought in $5 million. From 2004 to 2018, Carole brought in $32 million and a $10 million surplus. She is a whole scam. She doesn't even pay people to actually feed and take care of these cats. They are all volunteers. So she does this interview, and the interview asks her, like, well, none of the people are paid to do animal care, stuff like that. This is what Carole said. Right, because when it comes to lions and tigers, people will work for free just to be around these kind of animals. So we don't pay anybody to feed the cats or clean the cages or do the medical care or any of those kinds of things. So these are all done by volunteers, but volunteers need management. So she's basically saying they don't pay anybody to feed the cats, clean the cages, or do medical care, because volunteers will do it just to be around these type of animals. They'll do it for free. How is that any different from the men in this series that take the puppy cubs to try to pull women with? It's no different. It's no different. You don't get to do everything you're doing, Carole, and not get called out on it. You don't get to destroy other people's lives for doing the same thing that you do or did, pot, kettle, black. You just got crafty and called that shit charity and tried to clean up your image to separate yourself from the others. Now, about Don, her husband. Her husband, Don, is missing. Been missing. Presumed dead. Very mysterious circumstances all around her millionaire husband's disappearance. I would say there's more reliable evidence that she killed her husband than there is evidence that Joe actually hired a hitman to kill her. 2 months before this man went missing, he filed for a protection order against Carole. She threatened to kill him. She threatened to kill him. He put 3 X's besides, yes, she has access to a fire weapon. This grown-ass man didn't go file no protection order saying she wanted to kill him unless she said that shit. Please. His family said that's so unlike him. The BCR website that I was talking about earlier, it says on there that a detective acting on a tip had talked to this lady called Susan Aronoff. Susan Aronoff was the witness that signed Carole's husband's will as the witness. So she was supposed to witness Carole's husband signing this will that left everything to Carole. She said she didn't see him sign it. And she admitted to the detective that she never saw him sign and that both documents were drawn up by Carole herself and appeared only after Jack disappeared. Her husband's actual name is Jack Donald. Anyway, it also says that Carole appears to be the only person connected with the case that has steadfastly refused to take a lie detector test. Any lawyer worth a grain of salt will tell you not to take a lie detector test, so that's really not a big thing. But I feel like she was exposed on this documentary. I definitely feel like she lied and misrepresented herself through this entire documentary, which just makes her, in my opinion, an untrustworthy person. But the BCR Watch website also put something crazy out. I gotta read you this tip about Carole. So in the blog, they said that they had got a tip a while ago, but they didn't post it because they couldn't confirm the details. But then Carole confirmed the details in the documentary, or actually in the documentary rebuttal, and I'll link the whole article so you can read it. But basically, one of Carole's ex-employees, this guy that used to work for both Carole and her missing husband, his name is Kenneth Farr. His wife came forward and she is spilling tea, major tea. She said that she was married to Kenny Farr, who worked for Don Lewis. I can 100% confirm that on August 17th, 1997, Kenny came home that Sunday night in Don's van with all of Don's guns that Carole had gave to him, about 50 or more. And in the months going forward, Carole had transferred many properties into Kenny's name as well. It's public record. Anybody can look at it, but the guns 100% was gave to Kenny before Don supposedly disappeared the next day, Monday, August the 18th. And Carole, she's made a whole rebuttal. But like, basically what they're saying is Don actually went missing on Sunday, not Monday. And you just have to go on that website and read all of that because it's a lot to sleuth over. I just can't go. I just can't. Let's talk about the rest of the shady bunch. Jeff, James, and Alan and the whole murder plot. If I'm going to kill you, I'm not going to post a Google map of your house where I plan to kill you at and post it on Facebook. Like, that makes literally no sense. But then not much makes sense in this documentary. Like, it's crazy. But if you actually like pay attention and listen to what Jeff and Alan are saying, like back and forth on the phone, they basically admit that they're framing this man like, Jesus, read between the lines. They both hate Joe. They don't deny it. They say it multiple times throughout the documentary. And Joe clearly isn't the smartest guy. Like, he's an idiot. He's out of his league with these people. Like Jeff, James, Doc, Carole. These people are finessers. They finesse. They are calculated. Joe is not. Joe is like watching a water gun fight inside of a phone booth. Like, he's just an idiot with tigers. So Jeff wants what Joe has going on. He wants it. He wants that moneymaker. He swoops in when Joe is at his lowest point, like he's lost everything, and then in comes Jeff in his Superman save-a-ho cape like he's some kind of savior. That's predatory behavior. He's being a predator. The way he flipped on Joe after his name was on the park, it just shows what he was after. What's even more sketchy, though, is that now Jeff is attempting to build exactly what Joe had, a roadside zoo. This shit should be banned in America. It should be banned. Leave the exotic animals alone. Leave them alone. They don't want you to look at them. They don't want you to come toward them. I don't understand. Leave shit alone. Anyways, the calls between Alan and Jeff were clear cut. The Fed's entire case relied on Alan. And Alan was proven a liar. He was proven a liar in the documentary. He lied on the stand. He perjured himself. Therefore, his testimony is useless. He never went to Florida. Perjury. And it's a bunch of bullshit. If anyone gave Alan $3,000, it was Jeff. If Joe wanted to kill that lady, he picked a piss poor time to do it. He should have did it before she drained him dry. And before he posted all the videos of him ranting and raving about killing her that he posted online for the world to see. I think he was set up. Like, period. I think Joe was set up. I think Jeff benefited, James benefited, Alan benefited. Well, at least they all thought they would benefit, but it seems like everybody that Jeff fucks with, it ends up in a shit show because Jeff is like this common denominator of scammer type behavior. I mean, just look at Jeff and Tim. Look at Jeff and Tim. Jeff wanted Tim to come out there, build a zoo for him, pay for everything, and while he just sit back and chill and wait for it to open. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think Carole's a fraud, and I think Joe's not a good guy. I don't want to say he's a good guy, because I don't think he is. I think he's a pretty bad guy. But at the same time, like, it's not justice. Is that justice? I don't know. Like, of course, he should get some time for the animal charges, like the killing the tigers or whatever. But they wouldn't have known that he killed the tigers if they never had the warrant to search his house because of the murder for hire plot that I don't think really took place. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone that supports me on Patreon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and join the Sweet Summer family. Okay, my sweet summer children, have a good day.